Hello dear students, let's move on to new topic covalency, variable valency and maximum covalency. Try to understand what is covalency. Covalency of an atom is equal to the number of covalent bonds formed with other atoms. Okay, and one more definition, covalency of an atom is equal to the number of electron pairs shared with the combining atoms. Try to understand. In hydrogen, let's take the simplest example of hydrogen molecule. Each hydrogen atom contributes one electron. Okay, each hydrogen atom contributes one electron and these two electrons are shared by both the atoms. Thus, both the atoms have stable configuration of helium. Okay, now let's take the example of chlorine molecule. In the outermost shell, chlorine is having 7 electrons. Just for differentiating for both the chlorines, for one chlorine dot is symbol has been taken for electron and for the chlorine cross symbol has been taken. Okay, so here you can see that there are 7 electrons in the outermost shell of chlorine atom and each chlorine atom contributes 1 electron. These two electrons are shared by both the atoms. Both the chlorine atoms now have 8 electrons in the outermost shell and have stable inert gas configuration of argon. Like this we can do for oxygen and nitrogen also. Okay, now try to understand what is bond pairs and what is lone pairs. The shared pairs of electrons between the combining atoms are called bond pairs. The What is this? This is shared pair of electrons. This is shared pair of electrons. 3 pair is being shared, 1 pair is being shared. These shared pairs of electrons between the combining atoms are called bond pairs. It is because bond pairs are responsible for the bonding between the atoms, and the valence electrons not involved in sharing are called lone pairs. In chlorine, you can see 3 lone pairs: 1, 2, 3. 1, 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair. In nitrogen, you can see 1 pair of lone pair. Okay, for example, you can see that in chlorine molecule, each chlorine atom has 3 lone pairs of electrons, whereas in nitrogen molecule, each nitrogen atom has 1 lone pair of electron. So this is bond pair and lone pairs. Now try to understand variable covalency. Covalency of an atom is equal to the number of covalent bonds which an atom forms with other atom or atoms. Number of covalent bonds formed by an atom is equal to the number of half-filled orbitals present in it. You have to remember this, that number of covalent bonds formed by an atom is equal to the number of half-filled orbitals present in it. Just take an example of beryllium and boron. Electronic configuration of beryllium, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium 4, 1s2, 2s2. And for boron, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron 5, 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. The number of half-filled orbitals in beryllium you can see no half-filled orbitals, so number of half-filled orbital is 0. And in boron you can see that p is partially filled, we can call it one half filled, so one half filled is here. But valency of beryllium and boron is, for beryllium the valency is 2 and for boron the valency is 3. This is because electrons get excited in the vacant p orbitals. Number of half-filled p orbitals become 2 and 3. This I will show you with other examples. Therefore, beryllium and boron show covalency of 2 and 3 respectively. And this topic will be very clear to you all when you will study the hybridization. In this chapter only, this will be discussed. And this happens due to the excitation of electrons. What will happen? An atom may show different covalency. Why? Due to excitation of electrons. For example, phosphorus shows covalency of 3 and 5. We can see PCl3 also and PCl5 also. Sulfur shows covalency of 2, 4 and 6, SF2, SF4, SF6. Chlorine shows covalency of 1, 3, 5, 7 and it is called variable covalency. Remember, covalency of an atom is equal to the number of half-filled orbitals present in its electronic configuration in ground or excited state. Try to understand this with the, let's first discuss the covalency of phosphorus. Phosphorus, atomic number 15. So what will be the electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p, 6, 4, 10, 3p3. Okay, as it is filled, we will leave it and we will only consider this 3s2, 3p3. Let's see in ground state. In ground state of phosphorus, 3s, 3p, 3d. In 3s, 2 electron is there, 1 and 2. In 3p, 3 electrons are there, 1, 2 and 3. These 3 orbitals are px, 3px, 3py and 3pz. Okay, and you can see that d orbitals are empty for now. This is the situation of electron in the ground state. What will happen in the excited state? So let's see the excited state of phosphorus. 3s, 3p, 3d. This 3s electron will jump to 3D. Okay. So in ground state, phosphorus atom has 3 half-filled p orbitals and its covalency is 3. And in excited state, electron comes in vacant d orbitals. The number of half-filled orbitals, p orbitals in phosphorus is 5 and covalency of phosphorus is 5. Thus, phosphorus can show covalency 3 and 5. 1, 2, 3. Half-filled orbitals, how many are here? Covalency 3 is being shown. 1, 3, 1, 4 and 1, 5. 5 half-filled orbitals, so covalency 5 is shown. Now let's see the covalency of sulfur. Sulfur atomic number 16, electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4, 6, 4, 10, 4, 2, 16. Okay, 3p4. Now let's just first we will show the ground state condition of electron. In ground state, S, P and D. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Excited state 1, excited state 2. Means first excited state, first I will draw, then I will show you. In second excited state, okay, in ground state, in 3s, 2 electrons are there. In 3p, 4 electrons are there. 1, 2, 3. Always remember children, first we will fill electrons singly, then we will start doubling it. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, this is the electronic condition in ground state of sulfur. You can see here 2 electrons are half filled. So covalency of 2 will be shown here. From first excited state, what will happen? This will remain same. This px electron will jump to d orbital. Now how many half-filled orbitals are here? 4. So sulfur will show 4 covalency because of this electronic configuration which it has occurred from first excitation state. Now see the second excitation state. The electron from 3s will jump to d orbitals, 3d. Now you can see that total 6 orbitals are showing half filled orbital. So sulfur can show 2, 4 and 6 covalency. Like this only you can do for chlorine. You can do it in your copy. For chlorine, electronic configuration, that will be 3p5. Okay, first py electron will jump, then px electron will jump, then 3s electron will jump in d orbital. So we can get 1, 3, 5 and 7 orbitals, and we can say that chlorine shows 4 covalency 1, 3, 5 and 7. Let's move on to next topic, characteristic parameters of covalent bond. In this we will see what is bond energy, bond length and what is bond angle. Bond enthalpy. When atoms come close together, the energy is released due to the chemical bonding between them. The amount of energy required to break 1 mole of bonds of a type so as to separate the molecule into individual gaseous atoms is called bond dissociation enthalpy or bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy is usually expressed in kilojoule per mole. Greater is the bond dissociation enthalpy, greater is the bond strength. For diatomic molecules like hydrogen, chlorine, oxygen, nitrogen, HCl, HBr, HI, the bond enthalpies are equal to their dissociation enthalpy. In the case of polyatomic molecules, bond enthalpies are usually the average values because the dissociation energy varies with each type of bond. Factors which are affecting bond enthalpy in a chemical bonding. Number 1 is size of atom. Greater is the size of atom, greater is the bond length, and less is the bond dissociation enthalpy. That is, less is the bond strength during chemical bonding. For multiplicity of bonds, greater is the multiplicity of the bond, greater is the bond dissociation enthalpy. Number of lone pairs of electrons present. More the number of lone pairs of electrons present in one bonded atoms, greater is the repulsion between the atoms and thus less is the bond dissociation enthalpy of the chemical bond. Let's see what is bond length. During chemical bonding, when the atoms come closer to each other, the attraction takes place between them and the potential energy of the system keeps on decreasing till a particular distance at which the potential energy is minimum. If the atoms come more closer, repulsion starts and again the potential energy of the system begins to increase. At equilibrium distance, the atoms keep on vibrating about their mean position. The equilibrium distance between the centers of the nuclei of the two bonded atoms is called its bond length. What is this? The average distance between the centers of the nuclei of the two bonded atoms in a molecule is termed as the bond length. It is expressed in the terms of angstrom or picometer. It is determined experimentally by X-ray diffraction or electron diffraction method or spectroscopic methods. The bond length in chemical bonding is the sum of their atomic radii in an ionic compound. And in a covalent compound, it is the sum of their covalent radii. For a covalent molecule, suppose if we take AB is a covalent molecule, the bond length of the given will be given by Ra plus Rb, means radius of Ra plus radius of Rb. What are the factors which affect the bond length? Size of the atoms. The bond length increases with increase in the size of the atom. Okay. HI, the bond length of HI will be greater than HBr. HBr will be greater than HCl and HCl will be greater than HF. The multiplicity of bond. the bond length decreases with an increase in bond order. Bond order I will discuss in molecular orbital theory. Type of hybridization. S orbital is smaller in size. Greater the S character, shorter is the bond length. Now let's see what is bond angle. A bond is formed by the overlap of atomic orbitals. This all you will study in this chapter. The direction of overlap gives the direction of the bond. The angle between the lines representing the direction of the bond, that is the orbitals containing the bonding electrons, is called the bond angle. Here few examples are given with the bond angles. In methane we will see that in carbon hydrogen, in two bonds the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. I hope you know that 1 degree is equals to 60 minutes. So 28 minutes means less than 1 degree. In ammonia we can find the angle 107 degree. In water the angle is 104.5 degree, and BF3 molecule, boron tetrafluoride, the angle is 120 degrees. Okay children, next is let's take some time to understand what is formal charge. In polyatomic ions, the net charge is possessed by the ion as a whole and not by a particular atom. However, it is possible to assign a formal charge of E on each atom. What is formal charge? Formal charge is the difference between the number of valence electrons of the atom in free state and the number of electrons assigned to that atom in the Lewis structure. One formula has been made for bringing out the formal charge. Formal charge is equals to V minus L minus S by 2. What is V? V is the total number of valence electron of free atom. What is L? L is the total number of electrons as lone pairs. What is S? S is the total number of shared electrons. Okay, thus total number of valence electrons on the free atom, number of electrons as lone pairs, and the atom on the atom is Lewis dot structure, and total number of shared electrons are calculated. Then formal charge is calculated from this formula. There are simple steps by which we calculate the formal charge. Number 1, first we have to write the Lewis dot structure. No atom should have more than 8 electrons around it. Except hydrogen, it will have 2 electrons. Next step, the shared electron pairs are shared equally by the combining atoms. Number 3, the lone pair of electrons of an atom belong to that atom only. And in a neutral molecule, the sum of all the positive and negative charges is 0. In an ion, the sum of the positive and negative charges is equal to the charge of the ion. And all the formal charges are not real charges. They are pseudo charges. This you have to remember. This was all about the formal charge. In next lecture, I like to discuss more about the octet rule and Levi's theory. Okay, so thank you children.